Smoke meat.
No chemicals or preservatives, just 100% honest to goodness hickory smoked meat.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Boy, some chicken wings have really hit the spot.
You ain't got no better food like some chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something?
That's just two guys talking, am I right? We're just talking.
Hey, howdy, hey.
That was an impressive breath you took, John.
It's been a minute since I've done it.
Yeah. You nailed it, man.
I did,
awesome.
but I came in early and there we go.
Yeah, great. I was just thinking as I watched that, I need to watch Rush Hour again. I haven't seen that forever.
Oh, we were talking about it. My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes. That's a classic.
Yeah. There are a bunch of those movies that I feel like I just haven't seen in forever.
Man, they don't make them like they used to. Those are quotable ones that stick with you.
I know, I'm nervous. I am really worried about Happy Gilmore, too.
Yeah. I didn't even know they were... No, yeah, I did. I knew they were doing that. When's it coming out?
Sometime this year.
I don't know. I feel like the second Dumb and Dumber just was not... I never even watched it because I heard it was so dumb. So, I don't know that I could get behind it.
Yeah, there's a potential that they might ruin something beautiful.
Right.
But
I heard there's going to be a Goonies too.
how?
Generation X is up in arms. I only saw one reel about it, so I don't know how legit it is. But
All I know is, like, have you watched Goonies as an adult?
it's been a long time.
Let's just say there are a lot of things that I can't believe our parents let us
Yes.
watch as kids.
I feel like we started watching it with our kids, and we were both just like, "Oh my gosh." But
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Doc Hollywood?
I don't think so.
Anyway, Michael J. Fox gets in a wreck and has to do community service. He's a doctor and
Okay.
has to do community service in this podunk town. Anyways, there is a scene where a woman walks out of a lake naked, and
Oh,
you see the whole thing.
wow.
I didn't even know that part was in the movie because my parents...
They did such a good
They
job of just
always-
like, nope.
Yeah, I had no idea that part was in the movie. I turned it on with my kids. Haley had never seen it, and she was like, "What are we watching?"
Oh, that happened to me just the other day. I was watching something with my kids. What was it? It was good, too. Oh, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Dude, there's a part where there's just... He's, like, drawn on his computer or whatever, and there's just a fully...
Oh yeah,
I was like, holy cow, man. I guess I usually watch it on TV. I don't know. But I was like, oh, my gosh. My kids are sitting there. I'm just like...
if I don't draw attention to
Exactly. Oh, shoot. Parenting's hard, John.
it is hard.
But people have to listen to this, so hey everybody, thanks for coming back. We did Picanha last time.
Or as our good friend in Michigan said, "Pick on ya."
Pick on ya. I love it.
I know.
And he mentioned that it's kind of hard to find, but I think it's easier to find than you think. I feel like it's something that most places carry, maybe just by a different name.
Yeah, sirloin cap. Mm-hmm. I was at Costco this weekend, and I noticed they had like 20 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Nice.
don't squatch, don't give up. Go find it.
You could probably ask a butcher for it too, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm too intimidated to walk into a legit butcher, though. All my butchers are Costco and Sam's Club.
No, I've been into, was it Cache Valley Meats?
Yeah.
The old
formerly
Horlocker.
Horlockers. Yeah, that's right. You said
And it's
that.
amazing. They replaced the light bulbs.
Oh.
So you can actually
So it looks
see. And
less
it's
like a murder show.
Yeah, dude. I went in there one time because Horlockers used to do French dip sandwiches that you could like order and cater.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I went in there and I was like, "Are we sure this is beef?" Like I was sketched out in a major way. But I went in there after they redid it, and Super nice guys in there. I was looking for a Thor's hammer, which I still have never found. But he, you could go in there and get one. But I think a lot of the grocery stores, they break down their own primal cuts. So they get like a whole chuck and then they cut it into chuck roast at the store.
Okay.
So if they're doing that with top sirloins, I'm sure you could ask them like, hey, can I get a cap?
Right.
And they'd give you one.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But it's so stinking cheap, man.
It is. I was looking at tri-tip yesterday at Sam's Club and was just like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I don't think that picanha is bad at all.
Go look at ribeyes, man.
Oh yeah.
Or I wanted skirt steak the other day, and they didn't have skirt, so I was gonna get flank, and the flank was like $16 a pound.
I've noticed that. That's insane.
So I went with tri-tip that day, but
I love.
Yeah,
tri-tip.
I think the sirloin caps were, I don't know, like $7-8 a pound. Like, it was super reasonable.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So what did you do with yours? You took some home.
I did take some home. So I took mine home, put it in the fridge, and was gonna let Hallie try it because she's my girl. She loves whatever we cook. She's into. And then I forgot about it until probably was Saturday afternoon. I was like, man, I need some lunch. And then I saw it. I was like, yes. So I kept it simple. I just put mine on a sandwich and put a little horseradish on it. Oh, man. That was a great sandwich. A few days later, like, still so tender. Still, like, just pull apart. It's so good.
Yeah, you were talking about that before. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and this will give people a reason to come at us.
Yes.
In the comments.
I love controversy.
You know how chuck roast is a poor man's brisket?
Yes.
Which actually it's not anymore because brisket's cheaper than chuck roast.
Right?
But, I think picanha is a poor man's prime rib.
Oh. Okay.
Because I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, sliced it, warmed it up a little bit, and then made a sandwich.
Uh-huh.
And then you put horseradish on yours, and that's what spurred the idea.
Uh-huh.
I think it was every bit as good as a prime rib sandwich would have been.
You know what? That's kind of my thinking as well. I didn't want to speak heresy or anything, and I'd made my first prime rib around Christmas time. It was awesome. I'm sure I could have done better. But I'll be honest, that picanha was, it was right up there.
Yeah, don't get me, like, prime rib is prime rib. Like,
yeah.
I will always choose a ribeye over picanha. But for $7 a pound, $8 a pound, I can eat picanha.
Yeah.
And Haley made, she got back into sourdough.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. And her starter's been like out of control growing. So we have had lots of sourdough. And I don't know if I talked about this during the Super Bowl or not, but she did a loaf that had ghost pepper cheese in it.
Oh.
That is fan-frickin-tastic.
Ghost pepper cheese.
Yeah.
So is this like are we talking like cubes of cheese that she mixes in or what? Oh,
yeah,
man.
So it's the cheese, it's like a Monterey cheese with ghost pepper in it.
Wow. Did she make that? Or did
No.
She
So my brother-in-law is a CFO for a dairy up in Idaho. And they ordered a bunch of cheese for their employee party, ordered way too much. So he brought some down to Haley's family dinner. And I walked away with a black pepper cheddar that we made mac and cheese with, off the hook.
Really?
And this ghost pepper cheese. And in the sourdough, like, it's just hot enough to kind of heat your mouth up but not kill you.
Right. There's enough bread to kind of calm everything down a little bit.
So I took a couple of pieces of that, toasted them up real crispy, put the picanha on it.
Oh.
I wish I had had horseradish, but the heat from the cheese was awesome.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll
as cheap as it is and as easy as it was to make, like I feel like it should be like something you ought to have in your freezer. A lot.
Well, and we both took that bite and we're just like, holy crap. Like it even like it I've had it, I've made it plenty of times. It like shocked the crap out of me. I couldn't believe how good it was.
Dude. It was so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like it says a lot about something when it's reheated and it's still good. You know, it's obviously not as good as it was fresh off the grill, but I mean, it was bomb. Like there's some things once you refrigerate, there's no coming back, you know, but that is not one of those things.
Yeah.
It was so good. So I had a thought. I was confidently transitioning into something else. It's gone.
I was going to like transition us to the next conversation, but you went for it. And so I was like, I'm just going to sit here and watch this.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
I could see the tires spinning and no traction. And the kind thing would have been for me to dig you out. But no, I just kind of
You just sat in silence.
Sat there and watched the
sound
show.
Like an idiot, man. I think I was going to say something like, let us know how we did. We'd like to have more comments. I think the video was fun. A lot of people are watching it. We're excited about it, and we're having fun doing them. But shoot us some comments. What you like, what you don't like. Not just about the recipe, but the way we're doing our videos. Like, we're just trying to make it fun for people. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Trying to keep them short and sweet so that you can see it, understand it, and get at it.
Yep.
So.
We will not be offended. Give us whatever feedback you can, and we're excited to keep sharing what we like with you. So
yeah. Well, we've had some warmer weather, and then we've had crazy snowstorms.
It's so weird, man.
Yeah, I got caught in the snowstorm on Thursday last week coming back. It took me 2.5 hours to get back from Salt Lake.
Jeez, man.
There was an accident on I-15 southbound, and the plows got stuck in the traffic. As we were driving by, I was like, well, there's a plow. There's a plow.
Shoot.
There was 6 inches of snow on I-15.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was this like wet, heavy pound. Like it was crappy snow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I learned how to drive in the Northeast. Drove in Chicago. Like I've driven in some like really crappy winter weather in my life. I think that was the worst.
Really?
The worst storm I've ever driven in.
I heard it was bad. I know half the valley, I feel like, was headed to St. George for soccer or baseball tournaments, and it took them about 4 extra hours than they thought to get down there.
We had gone to Salt Lake for a meeting, and we went to another meeting. The guys that we were with were going from Salt Lake back down to like Alpine area, which for those of you not in Utah is normally like a 30, 40-minute drive, maybe. I beat them home.
Oh, really? Because they were going south, huh?
Yeah, well, I dropped my business partner off at 6:30, and the guy we were meeting with, he got home at 6:40.
Golly, man.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Wild.
Nuts.
So,
especially for February, where we've had basically nothing but rain.
Yeah, it's
all
weird.
Winter.
Yeah, well, and yesterday it was 50.
It felt really good.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
It's wild weather.
Speaking of weather,
we
need to work on our transitions a little.
I'm waiting to see where you go.
I have these ideas, and I'm like, oh. And then I say them, and I'm like, I can't remember what I was going to say.
I was trying to transition into, it's been warm weather. Spring's almost here. And then we had a conversation about a snowstorm.
Kind of went the wrong way.
We can talk about how we were worried my grill was going to light on fire.
Yeah, we were. We were hoping to have a little Demrin situation where we get to video it and see if it really worked.
But we didn't, thankfully. But it leads me to the point of, it's almost time to start cleaning grills out and getting ready to go for the season. It
is, and we've done some talking about this. I feel like we've done a couple podcasts on it, but maybe let's talk about what stuff do you do yearly? You know what I mean? That you only have to do once a year. And because I feel like now is kind of the time that I do that.
Yeah.
When spring comes for realsies, I guess.
Yeah. It's still definitely too cold to really get into it. But
Right.
it's good to start thinking about it. And even start shopping sales. Because
that's a good idea.
So if you don't have it, I definitely think go buy one of the barbecue daddies, the scrub daddy version of barbecue brushes. Mm-hmm. They're fantastic.
They're game changing.
We did an episode about scrub daddy. Shout out to them for dropping us some merch.
Yeah. That was awesome.
But they, like, you need a good grill brush. So check yours. If it's crapped out, buy a new one. And then on my gas grill, the flavor bars. Mm-hmm. So these are the angle. It looks like angle iron. It's a triangular piece of metal that sits over the burners. Mm-hmm. I normally replace mine every year.
Oh, really? What does that run you? Are those pretty easy to...
You can get them on Amazon for like $30-$40.
Oh, that's not horrible.
So it's not bad. And
for the whole thing or just for each one?
No, for a whole set of them.
Okay, I was going to say $30 each is kind of spendy, but...
No, it's for a whole set of them. And if you don't grill a ton, like you probably don't have to get them every year. You can probably do them every 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. I use my grills a ton, so... Are
they worth cleaning, do you think?
If you buy the expensive ones, like if I bought actual Weber ones, I probably would because they're porcelain enamel on them and they clean up pretty good. Those are like $100 to buy a set. I just buy cheap ones and throw them away.
Yeah, I support that.
But yeah, so you can start buying that stuff, and then start now doing the things you can, like vacuum your pellet grills out, dump the charcoal that's been sitting down in the bottom of your kettles and your drums.
I've been using mine. I've been putting it in my chicken coop so I can do a little dust bath with it. It's kind of fun. Apparently, that's how they like clean themselves with that really fine dust.
Is
and
that well? And I get you use lump most of the time, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't do that with the briquettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, there's all sorts of chemicals and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Because I told Haley the same thing. I was like, I got plenty of like sawdust and ash and stuff that you can put in your garden, and she went and did a bunch of research.
Oh.
Yeah, Kingsford is not quite as pure as you would think it is, apparently.
No. The audacity.
But, yeah, I'm with you. I mostly use lump now, unless I'm doing Dutch ovens, and then I absolutely use briquettes. Because
I feel like briquettes are just so
science.
Consistent, and they seem to last a little longer, so sometimes if I'm not sure what's going to happen on a cook, I prefer briquettes just because there's less guesswork.
Yeah. But. So... I think those are all things you can do now because once it warms up, like, man, that's a whole Saturday for me of like, I pull my grills down off the deck into the grass, take them all apart, empty them all out. I don't as much with the pellet grills because there's a lot of electronics in it. But everything else, I mean, the pressure washer comes out, degreaser comes out. And
do you do your kettle that way too? I've never done that before. That's a good idea.
Yeah, the inside gets scrubbed with a stiff brush, knock everything out, hit it with the degreaser, hit it with the Dawn, pressure wash it, dry them out. And then I've started going back now, and I polish them with beef tallow.
Interesting. On the inside?
On the inside and outside.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, so I mean, and I got it, I realized that's what a lot of the like big offset smokers, they do. And you don't have to use beef tallow. You can use vegetable oil or, I would use a food grade oil.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like get the mobile one out.
Right.
I mean, you could, but.
Well, up to your choice. Taste preference, I guess.
Yeah, but
Have you ever done that with your drum? Like pressure washed it out? I've never done that. That's a good idea. I always reach down with, I get those paint scrapers, but like the wide ones, and kind of scrape all the crap off of it. I've never pressure washed it though.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. It'd probably help it last longer, not rust out as fast. And
Yeah, and I haven't had any issues at all with rust on my drum.
yeah.
But yeah, that's just, I think it's the easiest, and especially when I'm doing it, if I'm doing 5 grills,
Yeah.
I just bring out the big guns and then getting that oil. I have very little issue with paint chipping.
Yeah.
But if I do, putting that oil on will keep the rust away. Mm-hmm. And then worst comes to worst, like you can go to Home Depot and buy a can of high temp spray paint and just touch it up a little bit.
I love it. Yeah. I think I'm going to make a new drum this year. It's been a while.
Dude, drums have been showing up on they've been showing up on my Facebook Marketplace.
They're pretty cheap too.
Like $10 a barrel.
I feel like when I was first planning on doing one, they're like $50. And I finally got my buddy to just bring me one from Valley Metals. But man, I think I might do it.
Well, if you do, call me.
And I love the look of yours with the
patina
linseed oil that you put on there. I love that look. I spray paint mine with the high temp spray paint, and it works great. I have cooked some deliciousness on it, but I sure like that look that you have. So
I know. The problem is like, well, Haley doesn't listen anymore, so I can say this. Like, I really am running out of places to put things.
Yeah.
That I would love to have like a whole fleet of drums and be able to go do like a big cook with drums.
Just straight up drums, huh? That'd be sweet.
Yeah. You know what we need to do with the drums? Have you ever been to the fair when they're doing turkey legs in a drum? Mm-mm. There's they come every year to the county fair. But they hang turkey legs in the drum.
Oh, okay.
And they cook, I don't know, 8 or 9 of them in a drum. We should do that. I've only done turkey legs twice, and both times I thought it was terrible.
I've never done turkey legs.
They always end up being tough.
Yeah. See, when you cook a whole turkey, I feel like the leg meat, there's so little on it compared to the breast, and it's just not as juicy, I feel like. So
yeah.
All right, I'd be down. Can you get just turkey legs?
Yeah.
I would imagine you can just buy turkey legs because
Macy's normally has them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be down for trying it.
We'll have to do it. Alrighty. Well, I think we've got some things to look forward to.
Indeed.
Especially with some warmer weather. It'll be nice.
I'm excited. This is once it starts to warm up a little bit, I feel like we get like a week of spring. Like it's cold and wet, and then we get a week of just gloriousness, and then it's 1,000,000 degrees and hot. So, but we'll try to keep bringing you. I'm excited. I think these videos are fun, and we'll have one for you next week that'll be pretty cool, I think. So
yeah, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you want to see.
Yeah,
we've been trying to do them quick and short, but if you guys want to get crazy and do a big one, we definitely can.
Or if you think they're too long, let us know. We'll make it shorter. We can cook a burger.
I've still got the bologna burnt ends that I did.
Yeah,
I still need to edit that video.
Yeah, that'll be sweet.
Alrighty. Well, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And we're Fat Guys with Smokers. Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to subscribe.